Hi there again, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to be heading over to the bench in just a second and starting on part 12 of our Enterprise Refit build-up here. And I just want to take a couple seconds here to answer a couple questions that came in. I got one from Bruce Ward from the channel there. Appreciate the question, Bruce. He asked me if I could show a little about the Aztec painting on the model that we're doing. And your timing of your question is perfect there, Bruce, because today we're going to be doing some work on the bench doing the Aztec dummy masks that are out there from, I think it's Lou Di Tiamaso, if I'm pronouncing that right, of Aztec dummy. He's had that kit out there a while. This is his new version, version 3.0, that we're going to be using on the model. And my decal painting thing was working out good, but it was just going to be really time consuming, and it was going to take quite a while to get that done. So I've switched over, and I'm going to be using the same method that Trek Modeler out there used to do his Aztec, pearlescent Aztec painting on his refit model. And these Aztec dummy masks that I'm going to be putting on are going to allow me to move along much quicker on this build. I've already started to lay some of it down. We're going to set up on the bench here just a second, and we're going to show you how I'm doing that. I found a few things along the way already that's going to help make that go a little bit easier for you guys and go a little bit faster. So just another mention here, I just want to say thanks so much to all of you who have responded for the model building service. We're going to have the paint line out very soon too. I've gotten tons and tons of requests for that, and you guys are being really patient on that. I'm gathering up the bottles, the labels, a lot of things that go with that, but we're going to be coming along with that really shortly. Let's see, we've got John, Brian, Stephen, Eric, some of you I may have forgot. We've got your models all lined up in the pipe here, and we're going to be putting those out. As soon as I finish with the Enterprise Refit, we'll be starting on Stephen's 1/350 scale classic Enterprise build, and then we're going to be getting to John's refit. John's asked me to build a refit for him, which is just a basic ship without any lighting, but that's still going to be a really fun kit to work on. We're going to do a nice job on for you, John. And we've got several other exciting kits. I'm going to be booked up for months, and more requests keep coming in, and I just want to say I really appreciate your guys' confidence in me to build these things. I'm going to do a great job on them for you. I think you're going to be really happy with them once you get them. So again, appreciate that very much. So, but just want to say again, we're going to be continuing on with the regular work here on the channel, doing things, showing you tips. I'll be doing a lot of my own build-ups, and things are going to keep rocking on. I've got a lot of questions about that, and if we're going to change the channel or anything, and no, it's going to still be the same, and we'll be busy just as usual. So again, appreciate all the subscribers, the viewers, all the nice compliments that I'm getting for this, and I really appreciate it, guys. So enough of the lovey-dovey. Let's head over to the bench and get to work. We're going to put some Aztecing down on this bad saucer today. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you over there, guys. Okay, guys, welcome back to the bench, and we're all set up and we're getting ready to go here. And I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about what we're going to be doing on this, and show you that I've gotten started on it a little bit here. These are the Aztec dummy masks that I talked about, version 3.0. They've been changed a little bit from the earlier version. They're supposed to be a little bit more accurate than the early version. So just talking about how these are applied. Now, you basically get 6 sheets, look sort of like this, with this black masking material on top of a backing sheet. And you're basically just using a little small hobby knife and just plucking those off and applying them. Now, one of the things that I found out really quickly when I was working with this is that there's a specific pattern that you want to follow. And let me see if I can show you here an example of it. Okay, for example, I started off on the outer ring here, and you can see we did this pattern here in particular, and that's where it's been removed from that area. Well, when you pull that part off, you can see that you still have this material in here left over. Now that's the mirror image of that, and what you want to do is that always goes adjacent to the panel that you just did. So what I'm doing here is I'm working, starting at the bottom and then working my way up towards the center on each panel. I found that out after doing a little bit of this. So these little pieces here you pull off, and you're going to make your next adjacent panel out of those. So let me show you the difference here. These are these same pieces that are left over inside this area here. They've been applied in this spot right here, and you can see that it's a different pattern than this one. Then when you go to the one above it, you're going back to this one, so you just kind of alter it back and forth. The instructions ask you to do it diagonal to each other, so you have this one and then this same pattern goes up here next to it, but it really doesn't matter. You can start out on any row you want, just as long as you remember to switch to the opposite one on the next adjacent panel. Okay, so that's kind of self-explanatory. You figure it out. There's 2 sheets of masks for the top of the saucer. There's 2 more for the bottom. The rest of the sheets that are 6 in total are for the rest of the areas of the ship. Now, talking about this a little bit more, when I first started applying these, I was really having trouble with them because they're super sticky. And if you can see here, they're not quite as wide as the actual panel line on the model. So what I was thinking was, okay, I'll put this down and line it up with this edge and it should be good to go. Well, the problem was is when I lined it up all the way over here to the edge, I had a big gap on the other side. And these things being so sticky, you had a heck of a time getting it down on there without tearing it or doing something wrong, because it just wanted to grab every little piece that you touched on it. It would just grab. And I thought, boy, at this rate here, this is going to take me months to do these. Well, what I came up with was, years ago I used to do a lot of body shop and painting work on vehicles, and the old Pontiac Trans Ams that we used to get in the body shop a lot had that giant bird on the hood, and that was a big old decal. And what we used to do to get those on there was we used a mixture of soap and water. We'd actually spray it right on the hood there, and then we put the decal over top of it. That would allow us to slide it around and move it, get it perfectly centered. Then we would take a squeegee or something similar and squeegee out all the bubbles and everything and get it down there nice and smooth. Once that water and soap dried out of there, the thing was down on there perfectly. So I thought, well, why wouldn't that work on this? So what I did is I mixed up some soap and water, some Dawn dishwashing detergent with some water, made it a little bit kind of on the soapy side, put it in this pump spray bottle, and now what I'm doing is every panel that I start with, which we're going to start here in just a second, I'm able to put the sticker on there, the mask, and I can actually slide it around like a decal and get it exactly where I want it. Once I get it where I want it, I tamp it down a little bit with my paper towel here, and then it's locked down. Now, they can still slide around for maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and you're thinking, well, boy, are they ever going to be sticky when they dry? Well, these ones over here have been done like last night, and they're already dried up and nice and good to go. They won't come off. And I don't know yet for sure because I haven't tried to peel any of them off yet, but I think that's also going to help us to take these off. I think they're going to come off a little easier, so that's good. So that will really help you out if you try that method. I don't know if anybody's tried that or not. I haven't seen very many videos of this or demonstrations of putting these on. I know Dave, his username is Smooznu on YouTube. He's another one of our members over at Sci-Fi Model Action. He has a nice video that he put up of doing this, applying these on his smaller 1537 scale Enterprise refit model, and he was showing how he was putting them on, and I thought he was kind of struggling with it a little bit too, because they are very sticky. And like I said, when I show you how this works in a minute, you'll be pretty surprised how easy it is to put them on, and you can make a lot more time. I've got about 3 or 4 hours in this all together right now, just this part, so I'm hoping to make quite a bit of progress tonight, and we might even be able to get to start doing a little bit of painting on this. Now, as far as the painting goes, you can see why I chose to go this route. Just to give you an example, when I was spraying the individual decals, for example, this little panel right here, I would have to mask that off with tape and spray that individual panel, and then pull my tape and do to the next one. You can imagine how tedious that was getting. What this will allow me to do is, once these are in place, I can spray entire sections with the different colors. I'm using the Trek Modeler guide for the color locations on this, and basically most of the entire saucer top here is done in that pearlescent blue. There are a few panel sections here that are done in the gold, and then there's some other what they call tertiary colors that are the red and the green pearl that go on in little spots here and there that you just make small masks either out of masking tape or frisket that you add in once you're done spraying all these other big colors. So this is going to save me a lot of time doing this. It's a little tedious putting these on, but once I get these knocked out, we're going to start rocking and rolling. So let me get to work on this now, and let's start with this panel right here. And again, we're going with our mirror image, so the one that I'm putting on here is going to be opposite of that. But let's get going, and I'll show you how this works. We're just going to put a little bit of our soapy water on that, and going to be plucking off these little sections here and then applying them. My camera's not wide enough to pull back for you to see doing this, but it's pretty much self-explanatory. Just use your hobby knife and get in there and pick them off. Be very careful when you pull these off the sheet not to stretch them though. Don't force them off of there, because this stuff is just vinyl and it's very, very easy to stretch it and distort it, and then you really be not too happy. So you can see how easy that's sliding around on that soapy water, and I can place it exactly where I want. Now the trouble with it is though, when you're working on it, you'll keep bumping them and moving them and things like that, but just keep going back and readjusting them, and you'll when you get to the very top here, you just go back once more and just reset everything and you'll be good to go. This sure beats the heck out of sticking them on there as is, because like I said, they are just so grabby that it's almost impossible to get them on there straight, and you'll wind up tearing them or stretching them, and it just really is a nightmare. This is much better. Say we're going to slide this one all the way over here. And we've got the other half of it to go on. Apologize if there's some wind noise too there. It's a little bit on the toasty side out in the shop today in South Texas here. We're already heading into early spring, and it won't be long before it's 100 degrees out here. So I'm trying to get a lot of this major stuff out here, and hopefully this year I'm going to be putting in a nice strong AC unit out here, so I don't have to it won't limit my building time out here. Last year during the summer I had to basically only build in the late evenings or build in the early morning, because once it hit midday it was 110, 120 degrees out here, even with the AC, small little AC unit I had out here running full blast. So hopefully we'll have a better situation this year. Okay, so you can see how nice these are going on, just like decals. And I mean, this is just the way to go on this. And this section here, I'm just gonna work my way all the way to the top, just varying back and forth. If these start to stick on you a little bit like this one did, just add a little bit more soap and just wait for it to kind of grab, and then there you go. You can see how I just I broke that loose without forcing it. You don't want to start forcing these at all, because like I said, it's easy to rip them, and it's easy to that's not blocking your view. It's easy to poke a hole in it or stretch it, and you just don't want to do that. Now a couple of these have tiny little pieces of excess film on there, and we'll just wait till that's all dry and locked down, and I'll go back with my hobby knife and trim them and clean them all up a little bit. No big deal at all there. Okay, so we've got that one on there now, and you can see that's exactly, I'm going to get rid of the excess water here, and you're going to wind up moving them a little bit when you do this. Most of the time. Sometimes you get lucky and you don't. You can see we did move this one here a little bit, and they will stay movable for probably 10 or 15 minutes. So you've got plenty of time to go back and fine tune them and get them exactly where you want them. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good on there. So you guys get the general idea of this. So now what I'm going to do is go off camera, turn up my jams, and I'm going to be out here just rocking and rolling on this. I'll be back in a little while, guys. It'll be just a second for you, but it's probably going to be a couple of hours for me. And we're going to hopefully have this entire thing covered. And what I'd really like to do in this video is, by the last segment here, I'd like to be able to spray a little section of it and show you how this is going to turn out. So we'll be back in just a little while, guys. See you then. Well, here we are, everybody, about 3.5 hours later. And you can see that I've completely cleaned these all off of here, and now they're all over here. And wow, that was really something. But it worked out really good. As I was going along, I was getting faster and faster and faster at putting them on. Like I mentioned, you kind of get the feel for it after a while, and using the soap and water trick really worked out well. They're all placed on there really good. And going back to talking about this just a little bit, I recommend that you just take each row and just do each row and then start over. As long as you make sure that you start off with the next row with the opposite one. I call these the King's Crown here, the one that has that little thing on it. If you do this one here first, then do this one, then switch back, and so on and so on. As long as you do all that all the way through, you won't mess it up. And like I said, they tell you to do it diagonally, but you don't need to do that. So it's a little simpler. So what we're going to do now is the really fun part, guys. I'm going to mask off. I think I'm going to do this section right here. We're going to mask this part off, and then we're going to spray that with some of our blue Aztec. I'll mask these other ones off adjacent to it, and the part of the saucer edge here, and up in this area here. And let's just shoot that down with some pearl. Then we're going to pull those masks and see how that baby looks. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. We'll be right back with that in just a second. Well, hi there again, guys. We're back now, and you can see I've done these two little sections here, pulled the mask off, and you can see if I tilt this just the right way, you can see that Aztec in there and how nice that came out. That really looks cool. And we're going to get that all over the top of the entire saucer. I did these two panels here because I knew that they were both of these were all blue, but like I said, we're going to go back and mask off some of these individual sections here and do those in gold as well. And then once we get all done with that, we'll pull everything off of it, and I'll come back and just mask off some of these small individual spots and add in some red and some green, and we'll have all of our colors on there. This is just going to look awesome once I get all the markings and all the other details added on here, and then our lighting and everything else. This is going to be all over the entire ship, so you can see just how neat that's going to look. So I'm really happy with that, and just can't say how much fun this is working on. It's tedious and it's slow and everything, but it's just going to be really a big accomplishment when I'm done with it. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Our next video will be back. I've got to do, of course, the whole bottom side of the saucer next, and then we'll be going on to the hull. I won't be showing you all this because it'll start to get boring, but I'll show you the updates on the painted sections once I get those done. And we're going to be getting into a lot of the assembly, and we'll be very shortly here busting out the electronics and starting to wire in all that, and I'll go over that with you guys too. A lot of you have asked questions about that, so we'll get to that here really soon. So this has been a lot of fun. We'll catch up to you guys in the next couple of days, so take care out there, and happy modeling, everyone. We'll see you next time.